Welcome to another episode of Scholastic IQ, the game where knowledge rules. I'm your host, Ethan Neer, and we have a great quarterfinals matchup here for you today. So let's go ahead and introduce those teams. On the bottom, we have Marion, the hometown heroes, with Braden, Caden, Ian, and Samuel. And on the top, we have Jackson Senior High with Ethan, Tormy, Puma, and Anna. Now, before we get into the questions, let's just do a quick recap of the rules. We'll start off with some toss-up questions. Each of those will be worth 10 points. If a team gets it right, they'll get to move on to a bonus question that's worth 20 points and can be stolen by the other team for 10. You guys are allowed to interrupt me at any time, but if you interrupt me and get the question wrong, it is 5 points for the other team. So make sure you're right. Now, if we guys all understand the rules, we can get into the questions. What British politician who ran the 1880 Midlothian campaign was the rival of Benjamin Disraeli?
William Ewart Gladstone.
Gladstone's correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 1680, what current U.S. state capital was recaptured from the Spanish by the indigenous Pueblo people during Pope's rebellion?
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe is correct. Well done. The next question, what composer whose Israel in Egypt and Saul are among his English or Samuel?
Handel.
Handel is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Franz Josef Land is an Arctic archipelago of what country whose city of Murmansk is the most populous city of the North Arctic Circle? Or north of the Arctic Circle, excuse me.
Russia.
Russia is correct. Well done. The next question, what British author who created Tommy and Tuppence Beresford, a pair of married detectives, also wrote about genteel sleuth Miss Jane Marple? Anna.
Agatha Christie.
Agatha Christie is correct. Well done. Also wrote about Hercule Poirot, the Belgian detective. For your bonus, what American composer of An Incomplete Universe Symphony wrote The Unanswered Question and the Concord Sonata?
Cash.
Cash is incorrect. Marion, chance to see.
Horse.
Holst is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Charles Eves.
Oh.
And for your next question, pencil and paper ready. What is the length in minutes of a movie that can be shown twice in 5 hours? Kate.
150.
150 is correct. Well done. For your bonus, microforms of what structures known as thrombi have been suggested as a possible cause of chronic fatigue syndrome and long COVID?
No answer.
No answer. Jackson Senior, the chance to steal.
Platelets.
Platelets is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was blood clots. Blood clots. Your next question, what young character who has a pet ball of lint named Alan and is found living in an Airbnb house by a documentarian has shoes in a 2022 film? You guys are all out of time. The answer you're looking for was Marcel the Shell. For your next question, what man who led a siege of Claudius Glauber's army by using vines to rappel down Mount Vesuvius instigated the Third Servile War and was a gladiator? Puma.
Spartacus.
Spartacus is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what artist who collaborated with his brother Hubert on the Ghent altarpiece painted a dog standing near the title couple of Arnolfini portrait? Of the Arnolfini portrait, excuse me.
Von Eyck.
Jan van Eyck is correct. Well done. For your next toss-up, what molecules which Sidney Altman and Thomas Cech showed could be catalytic have a ribosomal subtype and are usually single-stranded, unlike DNA? Tormy.
RNA.
RNA is correct. Well done.
You were faster.
For your bonus, the lac operon was discovered in what organism that is a rod-shaped gram-negative bacterium?
E. coli.
E. coli.
E. coli is correct. Well done. For the next toss-up, what series of picture books in which a lost button is sought by title characters who are friends was written by Arnold Lobel about two amphibians? Samuel.
Frog and Toad.
Frog and Toad is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what dramatist who popularized the comedy of humors with his play Every Man in His Humor wrote the plays The Alchemist and Volpone?
Pass.
Pass. Jackson Sr., the chance to steal.
Goethe.
Goethe is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson. Next question. What non-capital city where members of the Black September organization killed 11 Israeli athletes hosted the 1972 Olympics in Western Germany? Samuel.
Munich.
Munich is correct. Well done. For your bonus, St. Joseph Cathedral is a landmark in what southern state capital whose name means red stick in French?
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge is correct. Well done. Next question. In what state did Mary Peltola win the state's sole congressional seat in a 2022 race? Puma.
Wyoming.
Wyoming is incorrect. I'll read the rest of the question. In a 2022 race in which she defeated former Governor Sarah Palin. Brady.
Alaska.
Alaska is correct. Well done. And for your bonus, pencil and paper ready. What is the greatest common factor of the two numbers 81 and 225, given that both numbers are perfect squares?
Nine.
9 is correct. Well done, Caden. Your next question. What fictional character who appeared in a 2022 video with Elizabeth II for her Platinum Jubilee is from Darkest... Samuel.
Paddington.
Paddington the Bear is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 1598, Shah Abbas the Great made the city of Isfahan the lavish capital of what Iranian dynasty which warred with the Ottomans?
The Timurids.
Timurids is incorrect. Jackson Sr. had the chance to steal.
Sassanids.
Sassanids is incorrect. It is Safavid. Safavids. For the next toss-up, what daughter of Idmon created a tapestry of the deceitfulness of gods in a weaving contest with Athena? Okay.
Arachne.
Arachne is correct. Well done. For your bonus, artist Jean-Michel Basquiat began his career as part of Samo, a duo that specialized in what form of public art?
Graffiti.
Graffiti is correct. Well done. For the next toss-up, which constellation contains a triple star system that lies about 4.4 light years from the sun? Tormy.
Centauri.
Centauri. I'm not sure if we'll accept that answer. I'm looking. We will not accept that answer. That is incorrect. I'll read the rest of the question. That lies about 4.4 light years from the sun and depicts a being that is half human, half horse. Caden.
Alpha Centauri.
That is incorrect. We were looking for Centaurus. Centaurus. So you guys basically both had the right answer. It's just the different wording.
Naming the star.
Yeah. For the next question, what biblical figure, the ultimate prophet in Mandism, was the son of Zechariah, who ate locusts and honey? Ian.
John.
St. John the Baptist is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in Greek mythology, fawns have the upper body of a human and the legs of what animal, which is also the symbol of the god Pan?
Goat.
Goat is correct. Well done. Next question. What man was ordered to pay Neil Hesselin's family millions in punitive damage after a 2022 defamation case over his lies about the Sandy Hook shooting?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones is correct. Well done. And for your bonus, pencil and paper ready. What is the straight line distance between the points 6, 1 and 10, 4, given the formula uses the Pythagorean theorem?
5.
5 is correct. Well done. Back to the toss-ups. What quantity whose U.S. customary union is the slug is measured by a balance and does not depend on the strength of gravity, unlike weight? Tormy.
Mass.
Mass is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what poetry collection, which addresses a hypocrite in its opening verses to the reader, was published in 1857 by French poet Charles Baudelaire?
Where the sidewalk ends.
Where the sidewalk ends is incorrect. Marion, the chance to steal.
Arabian Nights.
Arabian Nights is also incorrect. The answer you were looking for was Les Fleurs du Mal, or The Flowers of Evil. For your next question, what type of natural feature are South Africa's bombos, which show the earliest use of ochre, and France's Lascaux, the site of Paleolithic paintings? Puma.
Caves.
Caves is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 2022, what president of Mexico won a recall election, which he had promised to call on himself during his 2018 campaign?
Obrador.
Lopez Obrador is correct. Well done. For your next question, what man, dubbed the mayor of Castor Street, was shot along with Mayor George Moscone after becoming California's first openly gay elected official? Ian.
Harvey Milk.
Harvey Milk is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what first indigenous president of Mexico toppled French-backed Emperor Maximilian and is the namesake of a city across the U.S. border from El Paso?
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz is incorrect. Jackson Sr., the chance to steal.
Corpus Christi.
Corpus Christi is incorrect. The correct answer is Benito Juarez. Benito Juarez. For your next question, what physicist predicted that black holes evaporate? Ethan.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking is correct. Well done, Tormy. I think you also wanted to buzz in on that one.
Mm-hmm.
For your next question, what type of material can have a Semitic or nemetic phase was first observed in derivatives of cholesterol and is used in many TV screens?
Plasma.
Plasma is incorrect. Marion, the chance to steal.
Liquid crystal.
Liquid crystal is correct. Well done, Marion. And with that, we'll take it to our lightning round. The way our lightning round works is each team will have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can about a particular topic. Now, Jackson Sr., since you guys are trailing in this one, you will have the first pick of the topics. Your choices are French artists, former capitals, Hawaiian words, or 3 consecutive vowels.
Vowels.
3 consecutive vowels it is. Give these words that contain 3 vowels in a row. I will leave you 60 seconds on the clock and count you down. 3, 2, 1. State whose capital is Honolulu.
Hawaii.
That's correct. Main rock type along with metamorphic and sedimentary.
Igneous.
That's correct. Easternmost borough of New York City.
Queens.
Queens is correct. Board used to receive answers from the spirit world.
Ouija.
Ouija is correct. Form of cell division that produces egg cells.
Meiosis.
Meiosis is correct. Word for a physical or social setting from the French for middle.
Mean.
Miu is correct. Greek god who gave Odysseus a sack of winds.
Boreas.
Boreas is incorrect. Mass for the dead.
Requiem.
Requiem is correct. Garlic flavored mayonnaise.
Aioli.
Aioli is correct. A solid image in a single color, often black, and often of a person in profile.
Pass.
That's the last one.
Inkblot.
Inkblot is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was silhouette. Silhouette. And the other one you guys got wrong. Greek god who gave Odysseus a sack of winds was Elosus. Elosus.
I think I named another one.
And now 8 questions correct on that one, bringing back 80 points and making this a much closer game. Well done, Jackson Sr. But Marion, you guys now have a chance to build that lead. Your choices are French artists, former capitals, and Hawaiian words.
Former capitals.
Former capitals it is. Given a city, name the country whose capital it used to be. I will give you 60 seconds on the clock and count you down. 3, 2, 1. Rio de Janeiro.
Brazil.
Brazil is correct. Lagos until 1991.
Nigeria.
That's correct. Colombo until 1982.
Pass.
Krakow until 1598 96. Poland's correct. Kazan until 1976.
Pass.
Opolsa until 1436.
Sweden.
Sweden's correct. Yangon until 2005.
Pass.
Auckland until 1856 or 65.
Australia.
Australia is incorrect. Almaty until 1997.
Pass.
Dar es Salaam until 1996.
Pass.
Colombo until 1982.
Colombia.
That's incorrect. Kazan City until 1976.
Kazakhstan.
That's incorrect. Yangon until 2005. Sorry, you guys are all out of time. We'll go over the ones you missed. Colombo until 1982 was Sri Lanka. Kazan City until 1976 was the Philippines. Yangon until 2005 was Burma. Auckland until 1865 was not Australia, but New Zealand. Almaty until 1997 was Kazakhstan. And Dar es Salaam until 1996 was Tanzania. So we'll take a look at our point totals after that. And we have Jackson Senior High at 230 and Marion at 280. So now in a very close game as we head into the back half of this quarterfinals matchup. Let's get back into the questions. What country whose Palktika province was the site of a June 2022 earthquake was also the site of a chaotic August 2021 withdrawal of U.S. troops? Puma.
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan's correct. Well done. For your bonus, "Fire Shut Up in My Bones" by Terrence Blanchard is the first post-COVID-19 opera and the first by a black composer by what American opera house?
The Metropolitan Opera.
Metropolitan Opera House is correct. Well done. For your next question, what book which describes how a beating hastened the death of the author's starving father, Shlomo, at Buchenwald, is a Holocaust memoir by Elie Wiesel? Anna.
Night.
Night is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what author who won a Pulitzer Prize for his early volume Lord Weary's Castle wrote about a Civil War monument in his poem For the Union Dead?
Crane.
Crane is incorrect. Marion, the chance to steal.
Whitman.
Whitman is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Robert Lowell. Robert Lowell. For your next question, what island whose main town is Hangaroa lies about 2,000 miles west of Chile is called Rapa Nui by natives and is Puma?
Easter Island.
Easter Island is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what bodies of water, which are called resecas in parts of Texas, form when erosion cuts a meander off from its river?
Tributary.
Tributary is incorrect. Marion, the chance to steal.
Estuary.
Estuary is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Oxbow Lakes. Oxbow Lakes. For your next question, what game series whose characters include the villain Handsome Jack, Tiny Tina, Ethan?
Borderlands.
Borderlands is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Mission Barrio healthcare centers were established by what man who led a Bolivarian revolution while president of Venezuela?
Simón Bolivar.
Simón Bolivar is incorrect. Marion, the chance to steal.
San Martin.
San Martin is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Hugo Chavez. Hugo Chavez. The next question, what project was completed when Leyland Stanford drove in a golden Puma?
The Transcontinental Railroad.
The first Transcontinental Railroad is correct. Well done. To your bonus, what mountain is the second tallest in Africa and shares its name with a country home to Mombasa?
Kenya.
Kenya is correct. Well done. Next question, what mountain range includes Lassen Peak and Mount Shasta, runs through much of the Pacific Northwest? Samuel.
Alaska.
Alaska is incorrect. I'll read the rest of the question. Runs through much of the Pacific Northwest and includes the volcano Mount Rainier. Ethan.
The Misty Mountains.
Misty Mountains is incorrect. We were looking for the Cascades Mountains. Cascades Mountain. Torby, I see that reaction.
They're
Like
like
you
three
might
mountain
have
ranges
you
in
might
the
have known that
United
one. For the next toss-up, what architectural style with a perpendicular subtype often employed? Puma.
Gothic.
Gothic is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what sauce from Genoa in Italy is made by grinding basil, pine nuts, and Parmesan cheese and blending them with olive oil?
Pesto.
Pesto is correct. Well done. For the next question, the name of what Dutch discoverer of Nereid and Miranda was given to a region that includes trans-Neptunian objects like Pluto, his namesake belt? It's Caden.
Kuiper.
Kuiper is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Sonny O'Neill is believed to be the man who shot and killed what Irish revolutionary who orchestrated the first killings of Bloody Sunday?
Pass.
Jackson, the chance to steal.
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly is incorrect, although I like the just pick a generic Irish last name guess. It was Michael Collins. And the next question, what war in which the Battle of Blenheim was won by the Duke of Samuel?
Seven Years' War.
That is incorrect. Was won by the Duke of Marlborough, was fought in the early 1700s over the control of an Iberian monarchy. Puma.
War for the Spanish Succession.
War for the Spanish Succession is correct. Hold on. For your bonus, what physics experiment first performed by Thomas Young produced a diffraction pattern that demonstrated the wave-like nature of light?
The double slit experiment.
Double slit is correct. Well done. Next question, what type of clothing includes an item worn by Minnie Pearl with a $1.98 price tag? Anna.
Hat.
Hat is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Robert Herrick's To the Virgins to Make Much of Time is an example of what type of poetry whose name comes from a Latin phrase meaning seize the day?
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem is correct. Well done. Next question, what poem describes which describes a fiery gospel writ in burnished rows of steel is by Julia Ward Howe and repeats the phrase glory, glory, hallelujah? Samuel.
Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Battle Hymn of the Republic is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what senator from Kansas lost a national election as Gerald Ford's running mate in 1976 and another as the Republican presidential candidate in 1996?
Pass.
Jackson Sr. the chance to steal.
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney is incorrect. He shares his name with a fruit company. It's Bob Dole. Bob Dole. The next question, what city whose Jumeirah beach contains several artificial archipelagos is home to the Burj Khalifa? Tormy.
Dubai.
Dubai is correct. Well done.
Nice.
For your bonus, in Isaac Newton's set of 7 visible colors, what color characterized by the highest energy and the lowest wavelength?
Violet.
Violet's correct. Well done.
Because he had to have his numbers.
For next toss-up, what quantity equal to negative RT times the logarithm of the equilibrium constant is negative for spontaneous reactions and named Puma?
Gibbs free energy.
Gibbs free energy is correct. For your bonus, what psychologist, a colleague of Sigmund Freud who founded analytical psychology, proposed that archetypes derive from the collective unconscious?
Jung.
Carl Jung is correct. Well done. Next question, what author of the essay collection Shadow and Act wrote about a former employee of Liberty Paints who joins the Brotherhood in Invisible Man? Ethan.
Ellison.
Ellison is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what Anglo-American poet described being uncertain and afraid in a poem set in one of the dives on 52nd Street titled September 1st, 1939?
T.S. Eliot.
T.S. Eliot is incorrect. Marion, the chance to steal.
No answer.
Answer you're looking for was W.H. Auden. W.H. Auden. Next question. What principle for comparing hypotheses, sometimes stated as entities should not be multiplied unless necessary, is named for a shaving implement? Pumas.
Razor.
Will we accept just razor? We do need more than just
Occam's razor?
Occam's razor is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what last name is shared by the admiral who won the Battle of Manila Bay in 1898 and a Republican who lost the 1948 presidential race to Harry Truman?
Dewey?
Dewey is correct. Well done. And with that, that is all the time we have for on today's episode. So let's take a look at the scores. It is a 520 Jackson Senior High and 300 Marion. But a very close game right down to the end. You guys were both interrupting me back and forth, just trying to get that extra edge. I respect it. So well done to both teams. And for all of our lovely contestants here today and all of the people working very hard behind the scenes, I'm Ethan Neer. Thank you so much and good night.